This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody. Today we're talking about print and play games that I discovered in 2020. Some of the great print and play games. This seems to be the year of the print and play games. And the reason for that is, as we all know, the very difficult time that everybody is going through, how it's set back shipping and stuff like that. So people were looking for new things to play. Well, during some of the very difficult times, I had gone out of my way to make sure that I would download a ton of different types of print and play games to really try to, number one, bring light to some of these really great games, and also you know, something to do during everything that was going on. And I have to really say that for me, this was the year of the print and play, where I discovered that there are just so many great games out there that you don't have to pay, you know, exorbitant amount of prices, but that you can just go to Drive-Thru RPG. That's a little plug for them. And find all these wonderful, fantastic games that are just plain fun and went right over my head, and I didn't even know were out there. So I'm going to go down to the table and show you a bunch of them. Of course, you know, let's face it, two of my favorite games of all time that I discovered over the last year, before everything has happened, is 4 Against Darkness and, of course, D100 Dungeon. Two neck and neck for two of the greatest games I've ever played and enjoyed. I really love the experiences that I have with them. But I've got a big pile here, and I want to show you some things that maybe that if you haven't seen the videos that I covered, or maybe you didn't know about these, that, hey, take a look. Maybe it's something for you. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments on what you think are some of the things that maybe I missed. Never hurts. Then I can discover them and download them and print them out and bind them and do them here. All right, let's go down to the table and check them out. Now, of course, I'm going to just start off with two of the greatest games, first of all, that I've ever played. And, you know, I'm sure I'll mention when we go up top, but D100 Dungeon is absolutely fantastic, and of course 4 Against Darkness and all their mountain of expansions. D100 has so many things to it. It's just absolutely fantastic. This book, the tables and games sheets and all that stuff, there's just tons and tons of greatness, and I printed out like tons and tons of stuff for this. But I also have some of the stuff that you can purchase, the hardcover books and all that stuff. Fantastic. And of course 4 Against Darkness and all its inclinations, absolutely phenomenal and great. But let's talk about some of the stuff that's a little under the radar that you may not know of. The Black Hack, really an interesting little get together here for everybody. You can also have the solo hacktastic, and of course you would have to get the Divine Prayers to go with it. Really a neat little dungeon crawl system, and there's going to be a lot of dungeon crawl stuff in here for sure. I'm a big fan of all that. The improvised dungeon crawl, really interesting, simple little system. Really works out nicely. I enjoyed this, and I'm not going to explain everyone. I'm going to do my best just to kind of show you guys what's going on with this stuff. Pocket Dungeon 2.0, very, very, very good. I really enjoyed this, and I thought this was just a lot of fun. You're going to go through, and you got all these fantastic sheets that you are going to generate your dungeon on a map here. Really good. Warrior, Heroes, Legends. Really nice little system here. Check it out. And all this stuff you can find at a Drive-Thru RPG. The 2-hour dungeon crawl. This is really, really fascinating. I really enjoyed this, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely check this out. IDC XP. This is more of a role-playing thing, just really, really good. I think you'll enjoy it. And of course, in this pile, I have so many of these expansions for 4 Against Darkness. But the Knight of Destiny is such a good unit. We're going to put this aside. Dark City Games. They have some fantastic games that you can download and get your hands on or order there. I really enjoyed these. This is Orcs of the High Mountains. Really just it has that barbarian prince type of feel to it, but is just very interesting. A game that I believe we did live on the channel, K-Day Kaiju Wars. This is a lot. This is like a little hidden gem. It's just one sheet. That's all you need. And you know, I have my little figure that I was going through. Just a lot of fun, easy to play. All you need is dice, and you are off and running. Really enjoyable little romp there. Random Solo Adventures. These were fun. Fantasy Dungeon. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was absolutely fantastic, and it fits in with a couple of the other things that he had out, and I'm only going to show one more, but he has an Apocalypse one that I thought was really good. The redo of Barbarian Prince. You can actually, I believe, get this on BGG, Board Game Geek. Really phenomenal, excellent in every way. And of course, the event book. You got to have the event book. Redone, remastered, made it more enjoyable. Believe it or not. This is Dungeons, the solo adventure. A very, very good system. Something I really, really enjoyed. This here, I really thought was very, very good. It's hard as anything. They had an expansion to it, Dragon Fang Mountain. A nice little crawl through. It's very, very different. It's very different, but I really enjoyed it. The game that I have to say is one of the highlights of the year for me is the Drifter. The Drifter is phenomenal. This is just, if you haven't got this, go check it out. Go to Drive Through RPG. You will not be disappointed. It feels a little bit like Barbarian Prince, but it's all, I mean, the best way to put it, it is everything that Barbarian Prince is missing, okay? And done so well and so clean that I can't wait for my good friend to put out a sci-fi edition, which I'm really looking forward to, which he happens to be working on. But I'm telling you right now, this is glorious and just done so well. If any one of these that you go out and pick out, I would pick out D100 Dungeon, which I'm sure you know about, 4 Against Darkness, which I'm sure you know about. But if you don't know about the Drifter, shame on you. Great game. We've got Epic Adventures Dungeon Crawl. This was very interesting. For you guys that like to play tabletop games, there were some really neat rules out there that I downloaded, and I really had a lot of fun. They also had solo and co-op play in here, so it's a tabletop adventure RPG. It's called Dark Metal Mercenaries in the Deep, and it's very, very solid, very clean, and very good. Chronicles of Arax, whatever. It has a whole bunch of expansions to it. We actually did it here. We had a lot of fun with it. I highly suggest it. I really do. Delve, 2nd edition. Really good dungeon exploring fantasy RPG. If you have a whole bunch of that dungeon stuff and you want to throw together a nice little dungeon with some nice little RPG rules here, this is your boy right here. I'm telling you right now. Treasure Hunters of Shawnee. More 4 Against Darkness. I tell you, every time I turn around, there's stuff. This game here, I thought was very good. Cards and Catacombs. I actually have a video coming out about it. I was torn on this one because I didn't like the fact that you were playing with playing cards. But the gameplay and everything with this is very good. It's very solid. Check out the video, which should be coming very soon to you. If you have not played any of the Rangers of Shadow Deep, let me tell you something. Glorious. Made from our guy, Joseph A. McCullough, who does Frostgrave in all its glory. Be sure to check that out. Micro Maze. I really had fun with this. The Gardens of the Mad Alchemy. Really different type of game. You know, you got your little bit of rules here. Nothing too extensive. And then you go through the maze. And you're fighting all along the way. How can we forget Alone Against Darkness? Alone Against Fear. And of course, 4 Against Mars. A real masterpiece. If any. Again, Andrea just knocking it out of the park, taking that system, and even though you're using the same system, the adventure is always so exciting, depending, you know, because of what is the imagination that's put into this. You get what you put into it, that's for sure. For some sports fans, I'm a big football/soccer fan. We have All-Time Championship Soccer, which is really good. Footy Manager, which was very, very, very good. Dungeon Wars. Now, this is by the same guy that made D100. This is really, really good, and nobody talks about it. I actually had a lot of fun playing this. It's a 2 to 4 player, so it's a little tough to get to the table for me, but I did enjoy this. I printed everything out. I got everything all cut up, and it's just a lot of fun. It's clean, and it's glorious. Check it out. The Europa engine, for those of you that like to do something a little bit different. We have the Europa engine here. This is actually pretty good. It's just a lot. Your gold is to activate the Europa engine before Doomsday arrives, and it's just a neat little romp around and a race against time. Just really, really a lot of fun. The very first Pocket Dungeon was very, very, very good. I really enjoyed this. Jungle Quest. Jungle Quest is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I didn't pull out the other book, which is an apocalyptic war, but if you go and check out anything from J. Pingo Lindstrom, I'm telling you, the random solo adventure stuff that he's done, he did a series of 3 of them, and they were all glorious. A fantasy one, a jungle one, and then the apocalyptic one. Out of all of them, I really like the apocalyptic one, but I had a great time with this Jungle Quest one, too. So there's just some of the things that you can print and play at Drive-Thru RPG, and really have a blast with all of them. Let's go up top and get my final thoughts. Well, there you have it. Some of the best experiences I had this year. And they were all just fantastic, wonderful, glorious, and did so many different things. It's really been an amazing time for me in print and plays and all the things that I've discovered through them. Like I said, you know, 4 Against Darkness, 4 Against Mars, Against Fear, Alone Against Fear. The newest offering, of course. How can we forget the newest offering from the 4 Against Andrea and everybody? But, you know, 4 Against the old great one. I mean, Marco. I mean, you killed it, bro. And of course, there's a lot of little gems that I showed you here. A lot of little gems that sat here. I hope you go check them out at Drive-Thru RPG. Let me know what you think are some of the really great print and plays that you discovered in the comments below. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. Musings.